Good morning. My name is John Molina. I am Pascuayaki San Carlos Apache, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Phoenix Indian Medical Center. And I'm here today being part of the summit here that is addressing emergency preparedness among our communities and tribal groups. What's really interesting to me and what I've enjoyed doing is in the address that I did was to really speak to how we as individuals and communities are really important in being able to carry that message to people who make policy decisions, to people who help us develop guidelines for emergency preparedness, because each one of us here has a really unique purpose to be here, diverse backgrounds, academic training. And so as we get the message and we begin to dialogue and come together as groups, then we can really begin to find ideas to be able to find ways to have our communities more developed and prepared for emergency preparedness, which we hope would never happen. But then again, it's part of what we do in communities to ensure the safety of our people and the communities that we serve. And I think that these sort of events, these sort of conferences that are presented is so important for individuals, communities, community groups to really be a part of, because this is really a nice event. It's a nice environment for people to come to share the best practices, the ideas that are coming around. At every level we have people come out here, again, like from the state or in the federal government. We have big organizations like Phoenix Indian Medical Center who comes and brings their subject matter experts and people who know about these sort of this type of information that can be shared. And people come across from all over the state. They come here and they share these ideas.
My name is Fernando Cruz. I'm a member of the Thon Altum Nation of Southern Arizona, and I am one of the co-committee chair members for this year's 9th Annual American Indian Disability Summit. And we are just basically a group of individuals from different organizations and programs here in the Valley. We have people from Salt River, people that work for the city of Phoenix, a couple of us that are associated with Arizona Bridge to Independent Living. I am the integration coordinator for this program at ABLE.
What's the main purpose of this conference?
Well, the main purpose is to maybe learn something from other programs, learn from other villages and in the communities how they're maybe doing or taking care of persons with disabilities. Access programs like book rehab, education, housing, caregiving programs. Arizona Bridge to Independent Living, which I work for now, has basically been a model for me, being the motivation behind my independence. What we practice at ABLE is independence. We work with, actually we try and teach people that if you have a disability, any kind of disability, that there are ways of moving forward. Like when I was living on the reservation with a disability, I didn't think there was anything out there except for just basically existing, you know. And when I was introduced to ABLE, I saw people there with disabilities, all kinds of disabilities, people who were sight impaired, vision impaired, people that use assistive animals, people who use power chairs, people of all colors and all disabilities. And I thought to myself, you know, geez, you know, these people are working, they have families, and the only thing that was different from myself and them is an education. I found that education was, you know, the gateway to where I'm at today, basically. Without the education that I got, and the encouragement and the motivation that I saw from people that at ABLE as well as out in the community, when I learned to be open to other people with disabilities. We learn from each other, period. You know, we learn from how that disability works, how do they do this, how do they act at this. And I think, hey, why not me, geez? You know, the only difference, again, is just in education. I was fortunate enough to go to school. I have a few degrees, And I'm not bragging, I'm just stating the fact that it is possible. It is possible for anybody with a disability to go to school.
Hi, I'm Jim Warren. I grew up here in Tempe, Arizona. I'm from the Oglala Lakota Nation out of Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Went to high school at Tempe High and got my undergrad at Arizona State University, and then went on to San Diego State University for my master's. Right. Yeah, what we wanted, our vision for the American Indian Disability Summit was to be an all-inclusive summit, a literal summit of organizations, of individuals, of community members, primarily tribal members with disabilities. We wanted them to be the biggest beneficiary, to know about the services available, options that they have, not only in the Phoenix area, but also in the reservation communities. So this summit, I think, is a nice example, and we're going to be having our 10th annual next year. And it's a great example of communities, of organizations, of Indian and non-Indian folks coming together to provide examples and options for people with disabilities that are residing in the Phoenix area. Well, again, a passion of mine is because my dad had MS for 37 years. So with that personal experience with disability and then the personal experience of Indian country, I saw the parallels of both cultures, if you will, of Indian culture and the culture of disability having some similar challenges of inclusion, of being identified correctly. Those type of things I just grew up with, and then it ended up becoming my lifelong passion is how can I make a difference in terms of improving services and information to people with disabilities from As we go into 10 years of this, we have grown and we've brought in more people from different organizations. My vision over the next 10 years of this is to make sure that there's a multitude of organizations that work together.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Martina Williams, and I'm actually part of the Net Tribe, which is also known as Navajo Nation. And I'm originally from Kianza, and I'm actually here to actually accept the Marcus Henderson Jr. Award, Leadership Award, which I'm actually been very grateful for, and everybody actually being part of the committee. To my fellow Native Americans out there, I mean, not only like on the Denang reservation, but also, you know, different tribes. I would actually encourage them actually to come out because you meet a whole lot of new individuals. You know, you get inspired by different people that are actually doing something within the community. And I would actually encourage them a lot to actually come out and attend, find different resources, you know, at least get educated on that level. And also, you know, there's a vast minority information out there, which also could actually be very helpful and beneficial to yourself and also to your family members, which could actually be an impact on you, make things much more easier.